Hello, welcome to BTEC Business Studies Virtual Open Evening. My name is Mrs. Bettridge Hanson and I'm just going to take you through this presentation to let you know what the course involves that you're interested in. The staff that teach in the Business Studies Department is myself, Mrs. Bettridge Hanson, Mrs. Guscott and Mrs. Curtelan. So you could have any of us as your teachers in Year 12 and Year 13. The topics that we cover in Year 1 start with our first unit called Exploring Business. Now, during this unit, we look at business structure, as in, are they a sole trader, partnership or a limited company? We look at business objectives and how they might differ between businesses. We look at business activity and strategy and the external environment and how that impacts on businesses. Now, we do this by researching two businesses of your choice and you make a comparison between the two. Then the second half of Year 1, we look at business and personal finance. In Year 2, we have an opportunity to study marketing campaigns. So we look at how businesses develop a marketing strategy and how they will launch a successful campaign, whether that's nationally or globally. And then finally, in Year 13, we look at recruitment and selection. Not only is this a good topic to learn for business studies, but it proves to be a valuable skill for you for when you go out into the wider world, whether you are thinking about higher education, an apprenticeship, or going straight into employment after sixth form. Knowing about the recruitment and selection process and being able to guide yourself through that process is an excellent skill to have. Then, how the course is made up. So BTEC is a little bit different from your traditional A-level. It is a mixture of examination that is assessed by the exam board and coursework. It's made up of about 50% of each. So in Year 1, you start with the unit Exploring Business. Now, this is a piece of coursework that will be delivered from September to December and then will be marked and assessed by your class teacher. Your class teacher will give you your grade for that. After Christmas, we then start looking at the business and personal finance unit, and we study that from January to May, and in May you will sit an external exam like all other A-levels in the hall, and that will be marked by the exam board. Then in Year 13, we have the marketing campaigns unit, and that is what we call a controlled assessment. So we will teach you about marketing campaigns and then the exam board will deliver us a research theme that we have to look at. You have 6 hours of research to do and then you sit a 3-hour controlled assessment exam. So effectively you are writing a piece of coursework under exam conditions and that is assessed by Edexcel, the exam board. And then finally, we have one more piece of coursework that we start in January of Year 13, and that takes us through to the summer term called Recruitment and Selection. And during that coursework, you will produce a piece of work that is marked and assessed by your class teacher. So effectively, 50% of your grades will come from your class teacher and 50% of them will come from the exam board Edexcel. In order to study BTEC Business, if you have done business studies at GCSE, the expectation is that you've achieved a grade 4 at the very minimum. In addition to that, we also expect that you achieve a grade 4 in maths and English. Now, this is because you need to write extensive reports for your coursework and essays in your exam. And also the maths is important because we do have to develop those finance skills for your coursework and for that business and personal finance examination as well. Now, we do try to offer as many opportunities to visit real businesses as we can during this course. We have in the past run a conference trip that is held at Disneyland Paris, trips to Thorpe Park, Wimbledon, Microsoft and revision conferences with Tutor2You and Times2. We also had planned for this year a trip to New York, which we hope to hold in the future. Unfortunately, this year, due to COVID, that was cancelled, but that is something that we are hopeful we can offer during the time of your course. Now, lots of students inquire what can they do after they've studied BTEC Business. Now, the options are varied for you. Some choose to go on to higher education and study a degree at university. Some choose to apply for an apprenticeship in various industries, business related, and then others decide just to go into the world of work and gain employment. BTEC Business gives you a good foundation for any of those options that you wish to study. And there are many opportunities for you to study both practical and academic courses following on from this course. Now, if you do have any questions, please use the chat function and you can ask away for as long as you like, or you can email myself or Miss Guscott. You can see our email address on the screen there, and you can do that this evening, or you can do it at any time in the future. Sometimes you stop and you think about a question later on in the day or the following day. That's absolutely fine. Or if you would like to speak to us in person and you study business studies, catch us in the lesson or come and find us in the BITS office. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. It's answered lots of your questions. Anything else, then please do use the chat function.